Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Brian Alvarez, and today we have a very special interview with an artist born in Chicago and currently from Gurney. And yeah, he makes pop music, and hopefully, you get to learn more about him and get in tune with his music. So, yeah, without further ado, welcome Noah Polk.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Long drive, but we here, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Did you grow up in Chicago, or where were you
Yeah,
raised?
I grew up in that area.
What part?
South Side on Hosted.
Oh yeah. What was the environment like for you out there?
Very different, very busy. That's just like where most of my family is, like my mom and my dad's side. So it was very different than where I am now, but I appreciate that's kind of like where the roots started from.
Yeah. And what would you do as a kid? Like, what were some of your free time? Like, what would you
There's
do?
really always outside. There wasn't really much to do besides be outside and just kind of just mess around. I have a younger brother that's about 2.5 years younger than me, so we're just always outside, just messing around. Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Would you say it was like a pretty safe environment, or like where you grew up, or?
Uh, it really depends on the area that you go to, but the specific neighborhood, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, I was born in Chicago, but my parents ended up moving to the suburbs as soon as after I was born, so I didn't
Yeah.
really grow up over there. So I was fortunate because I guess there was like a shootout at their house
Oh yeah,
before, so I'm fortunate to get out of that area and
most def-
grow up in a safer environment. But
most definitely.
yeah, so I know you grew up religious, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what religion are you?
Christian.
Nice.
Yeah,
And then so you would play in the choir?
yeah. That's like the church was like my very first introduction to music. Singing in the choir and just kind of being involved in that. That's kind of like what made me realize that I was interested in singing, and yeah, it started everything for sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Was it obviously, I mean, yeah, your family are religious. Did they put you in the choir, or did you make the choice that you like singing, or they
I
kind
feel
of
like it was a little bit of both. It was a way for them to get me involved in being involved in the church, but also like music was just something that I was interested in. So it kind of just ended up working out. Like I was being involved in the church, but also doing something that I love at the same time, for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, I know you in middle school you're a part of the band. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
What instrument did you play?
Played the saxophone,
Yeah.
man. I played the saxophone for just that year. I still remember a couple of things from it, but yeah, that was because I never really did anything with instruments before that. So that was my first introduction to playing like a live instrument. So that was a pretty cool experience for sure.
Do you ever go back to it, or do you not really own a saxophone?
No, I haven't gone back to it, but I have started starting the piano and the guitar now. So I'm hoping like by the end of this year, I really had that down pat. I can incorporate that too for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, because your newer sound is kind of incorporating more of the guitar, and
Yeah, definitely.
that's what's
It'd
up.
be cool to play that live.
Oh yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yeah. So when would you say obviously after middle school,
Yeah,
you kind of got introduced to music,
right.
and also with singing from choir. What was the first I guess the first time that you kind of wanted to start writing your own music?
I was 13 or 12 actually. Yeah, I'd say 11, 12 is probably a safer answer. I wrote this first song called Run, and I had no beat, no nothing. Like I didn't know anything about looking up beats, obviously, and doing any of that. It was just like I had a melody in my head, and I wrote that song when I was like probably 11 or 12. Yeah.
Did you have any friends or family that were doing music at that time, or?
My mom sings, but not anything professional. She
Right.
just she did some of the choir stuff too.
So,
Yeah.
and then at what age do you think it started getting more serious with music?
18. I was a senior in high school. That's when I put out my very first song. It was like January 2018 is when I put out my very first song. So that's kind of when I got serious because I was in high school still. So seeing the reaction of like my classmates and everybody going crazy over the song, I think that's what made me realize I wanted to do it because I never really had the confidence to really do it before. Like at that point, I'm just like writing to myself, keeping it to myself. But there just came a point where I decided to put it out there and kind of see what the reaction would be, and it was for the most part pretty positive. So I just started going from there ever since. Yeah.
And that was that different in 2019, or was that a different song that your first song, if you remember?
Oh no, yeah, that was a different song. At that point, in 2018, at that point, I was just rapping. I wanted to be a rapper, and
Yeah.
then it wasn't until a few years after that that I transitioned to really singing. Yeah.
Oh, so that first song is not pop and like up and streaming right now, or
Oh, the song in 2018?
yeah.
No, I took
Oh,
I
okay.
took that down too.
Yeah, yeah. Because
I think it's too embarrassing for the brand I'm trying to build now. But
man,
yeah,
you're just growing. It's all part of it. It's all part of it.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, your first song was different in 2019, as I was saying. Yeah. What would you say? Like at that point in making music, what would you say your mind was at, and to where you were trying to go, like, as far as like I guess in message with music, or
Mm.
what kind of genre were you going towards at that point?
So I say from 2018 to 2020, my focus was more on just trying to make it right. At that point, we were seeing a lot of overnight successes, a lot of people just blowing up crazy, one hit wonders, all that kind of stuff was happening. So that's kind of where my mind was at in the beginning. And it wasn't until 2020 when I switched to making pop music that I really wanted to focus on the message, that I really wanted to focus on impacting people through music. Um, so yeah, that's what kind of when that mindset changed. But at first, I'm just like, how can I make songs? How can I gain popularity off of this? How can I make a living off of this? Um, Whereas of now, I'm just trying to impact as many people as I can and kind of spread a positive message through the music as well. And something that I focus on now really is making emotional music and making people feel something through the music, and kind of almost telling my story through the music is something that's very important to me. Yeah.
That's what's up. And then even to backtrack a little bit, you were actually doing some acting on Vine.
Yeah. I
That,
used to, I used to, from like eighth grade till a sophomore year in high school, I was making videos too, because I always was just wanted to be an entertainer.
yeah.
Whether it was singing, whether it was acting, whether it was making videos online, I wanted to um, do some type of entertainment. But yeah, so that I did do some acting, and I plan on doing some in the future too. I think right now I'm just really focused on the music, but I definitely want to branch out.
What kind of posts were you making back then?
Just like comedy stuff, like funny stuff, really cringy, corny stuff that like 13 through 16-year-olds make
Right.
when they're trying to come up.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely got me into the entertainment world. I did gain a decent following off doing that. But I think that when I just got really focused on the music, I just really got focused on the music. And so I decided to leave that behind.
Do you think as soon as you started, like, did you think you had like a little following on Vine, or not really?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
A few thousand for sure.
Did you like introduce some like music at all, or
I
not
should
really?
have, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just at that point I was really focused on just trying to do the funny stuff and trying to do the comedy stuff. But that's a good point. I never thought about that. No.
Right. And then so kind of like looking to the future, and what kind of acting would you want to get in,
Hmm.
or are there any actors that you look up to, or any specific like movies, or
I love to do a TV show. I want to be like involved in a TV series for sure. And I'd probably do reality TV too. I watch a lot of reality TV. There's this show. Have you heard of The Circle on Netflix?
sounds familiar. I haven't watched
Yeah,
it
you
though.
gotta watch that. It's a reality TV show I'm watching right now. I actually applied, so I'm hoping to get on that. Um, but as far as actors, I don't know. I don't really watch too many movies and stuff. I'm more of a TV show guy. But yeah, I would definitely do something like that.
Do you think you have like experience with acting, or is there like a specific role that you think your personality portrays to, or
Mm, I don't know. I don't know, because the stuff I was doing back in the day when I was acting, coming up, was more like plays and stuff like that. You know, stuff that kids do.
right?
So I don't know what role I would do, but I'd be down to see my options and see what fits best.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you said your first project was Pictured Love, correct?
Hmm.
So that did still have like some hip hop and rap in it,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, it was like a mix, but that was like during the time where I was starting to experiment with pop as well too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so at that point, yeah, the music that you're making, how did you come up with making the album?
Hmm. I wanted the album to have an emotional aspect to it, but also have some of the fun stuff. So that's like the pop stuff was more emotional, but then I do some hip hop in there to kind of switch up the vibe as well. I don't know if there was like a certain mindset that I was in. It was just I was just putting out what I was creating at the time. That's just kind of where my headspace was just create and whatever I think is the best at that time, kind of put it out. And that's kind of how the album came together. Just the best songs that I had at that very moment. Yeah.
That's what's up. And were there any like specific songs that stuck out to you from?
Yeah,
Or,
1963 Step went crazy, 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 crazy. I think it's probably still my most popular song to date. Um, there was a whole dance challenge behind that. That song went crazy, and then A is an honorable mention on there. That's one of my favorite songs. The music video to that goes crazy. Very emotional song. And I think after seeing the success of those songs, that's what like really made me want to put that step forward to do pop full time. Um, yeah, yeah,
so yeah, you mentioned you kind of like took a break and traveled to California, kind of like to find your sound. Is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah. Last year I went to California and I wasn't dropping any music. I just wanted to kind of find myself personally, but also find myself musically as well. And that's kind of how this music that dropped last year in 2022 came about, was from taking that trip and kind of just thinking about it and being more strategic rather than just dropping crazy and sporadic and not having any type of game plan. So going out there really helped with everything that came out last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make any like connections out there? Were you like focused on going to music or just kind of like vacation type thing?
It was definitely focusing on music, but it was more of just an individual thing,
Right.
more of just spending time with myself and growing. Yeah, just growing as an individual was, I think, the most important thing that I took away from that trip.
How has your writing process changed from like rap slash hip hop to kind of like a pop slash indie
It's a
now?
great question. That's a great question. When I was rapping, it's crazy. My process is totally different now. When I was rapping, I'm sitting down with a pen and paper. I'm focusing on bars. I'm trying to make sure everything aligns and doing stuff like that. But then when I switched to pop, it's more of just listening to the beat, and I kind of more of just let the beat write the lyrics for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I listen to the instrumental, and then whatever comes is what I put in the song, and it's kind of been it's a lot easier, but it's also more natural. It's more genuine when you're not trying to focus on what you think people would like and what you think what the world would accept. When you kind of just let it flow out, it's what you're actually feeling in that moment. And that's what I love more about making pop music now. It's more natural. It's more me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, me personally, like I prefer especially that new song that you have, which we'll play a little bit later. I just like the vibes more, and it's like it's always cool listening to different genres instead of
Yeah.
just like rap all the time. But
You know what's crazy? Chicago needs it, bro.
yeah,
Chicago really needs it. We're so rap what's the word? Saturated, I guess I could say.
yeah,
Where oversaturated probably is what I should say. It's just like it's everywhere. And we need more pop artists, we need more people who are going to break those barriers and kind of force new sounds into people's ears. And because you never know what you'll like. These people that only listen to rap probably wouldn't even know they're like pop music if you never give it a chance. And if there's
Yeah.
not enough people doing it, people will never know.
yeah. I agree. I think people need to expand their their ears with
Yeah.
listening to new music and whatnot, because I feel like it's like a different experience and obviously different stories in the songs that are being portrayed. But
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, who would you say inspires your music now?
Well, I'm a favorite artist. One of my favorite artists is Justin Bieber, the Kid Leroy, X. The reason why I like X so much is because he did so many different things, right? He did the pop, he did rap, and it definitely motivated me and gave me the confidence to feel like I could do it too. And Michael Jackson, people like that, people who did more, right, than just rap, because that's like my whole thing is kind of pushing the barriers and that. So those people definitely did that, and yeah, that's why I look up to them for sure.
That's what's up. What's your writing process like?
Just listening to the beats. What I'll do is I'll listen to a beat, and then I'll get my phone and do a voice memo, And so I just record it, and if it sounds nice, I'll actually go and record that track. Yeah, very very simple, very laid back, and just if I feel a beat, then however that beat makes me feel, whatever emotion I get off of that beat is what I put into the track.
That's just have you started producing your own music, or do you work with other producers?
Yeah, I do work with other producers. I going back to like wanting to play instruments and stuff. I feel like after I master that, I'll be able to do that. But I have not actually produced a track yet. But it's something that I think I'm gonna try this year. Something I'm interested in for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see, man. Because I always love a live show. Like it's
Yeah.
always like super entertaining, and you get to feel the instruments and the song more, like with live instruments. Like it's super cool.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're doing for 2023. We're gonna do those live shows with the instruments, with the band. I actually just had a rehearsal last week. We're doing a show in April that we're gonna my first live show with the band, so it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So speaking of shows, where have you performed? I know I seen you at one of the Vital events.
Yeah. Vital was basically all last year is what we did. A couple shows outside of that, but they were mostly hosted by Vital. You know, they do the festival, and then they do a bunch of shows in the studio. So yeah, shout out to Adrian, shout out AJ, man. They're always looking out.
Oh yeah. So I think "Dancing on My Heart" was your first pop song, if I'm correct.
Not my first pop song, but one of them for sure. Yeah.
Around that, like first time that you were first making pop, what was like the hardest part for you? Because that it's kind of like transitioning into another genre. Like
yeah, the hardest part was the acceptance. Right? Is what are people going to think about this? What are people going to think about a black guy who is reaching for an audience that's in Chicago, that's basically all rap based? What are people going to think about that? And especially when I was doing the pop rock stuff, like a lot of last year, when I was dropping songs every month last year, they were all pop rock for the most part. So that was very, I don't know. It was I got a lot of different responses. A lot of people were shocked, but I ended up gaining a decent audience off of that. So I'm appreciative of that. Yeah, but that was the hardest part. Was what are people going to think about this? Are people going to be accepting of this? Are people going to look at me weird because I'm like stepping out and then doing something different? So yeah, that was it. But creating it was very natural to me. I think I was just more concerned about what people were going to think.
So like you talk about kind of like looking for acceptance from people.
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of like, how do you shift your mindset to like kind of block out that noise and just kind of like focus on yourself?
At the end of the day, it's like you have to do what makes you happy, right? You have to do, if you're in the music if you're really in this music to tell your story, to impact people, you're going to do it in a way that makes you feel right? And I feel like if you're more concerned about what people are thinking about you, you may be doing it for the wrong reasons. But if it's genuine to you, if you're authentic, then you won't be concerned about any outside noise. And you kind of have the tunnel vision. If it makes you happy, you're just going to do it regardless, you know?
Facts. And at that point, when you were getting like feedback, was any of it like constructive at all, or do you have like friends that kind of like review your music and like give you feedback, or not really?
Well, absolutely. I've had a couple friends tell me a song was trash, or they didn't like it, or I need to do this, and that.
Hey, those are good friends, low key, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you're gonna grow, honestly. Like if people are telling you that, hey, you need to fix this, or hey, hop on another beat or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's always good feedback, honestly.
Yeah, I have a lot of music heads around me, so yeah, that definitely did happen. I get some constructive criticism. I've got negative and positive criticism, and you just have to take everything, lightheartedly, and continue to do what you do, and then take it how you want it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So kind of like to get personal with you. First of all, congrats on getting married.
Thank you.
On December 2021.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. December 11th. Yes.
How would you say, and just in general, relationships, it's always like difficult. It's not the easiest.
Right.
How would you say that affected your music career?
I don't know. I don't know if it really affected it as much. I guess I have more things to write about, Yeah. And I think that's good. But I think the most important thing as it relates to music is just having someone there, right? To help you with the things that you need, and constructive criticism, like you said, someone's always there. She's there whenever I'm creating stuff. So that constructive criticism is always there, and I guess topics and things to write about. But no, no negative things, of course.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only asked that just because I know it could be difficult. Like I know some people are like in a relationship and it's always like a hassle for them like when they make music, but it's always nice to get a perspective from other people.
Yeah, I think another thing too is especially with marriage, because it's a lot different from regular dating. I think just a balance too. It's having a balance, because I think for me, music is definitely my life. I've been doing music forever. I had music when I didn't have anything else. You know what I mean? So, but when you put yourself in that situation, when you bring people in and with relationships and stuff, you definitely have to create a balance, right? You have to realize that your life not only revolves around music, but it also revolves around the people that are around you as well. So if you have a good balance of that too, it'll definitely help for sure.
That's what's up. So you talk about kind of like how relationships in general give you like stuff to like write about, right? How much of, because you do most of your songs are about kind of like love songs.
Yeah, definitely.
What was, I guess, like even on Heartbroken Rockstar, what was the most personal song for you?
Ooh. The very last song. What's the name of that last song? Oh, my bad. There's 16 songs on there.
No, you're good.
Oh, it's called Wipe My Tears When I Cry. Yeah, Wipe My Tears When I Cry. The very last song on the album, the outro. That's definitely the most personal song. It's a song that I kind of spill the most emotion on. But they're all like that. But that one specifically was very, very emotional. But yeah.
Have you found it always like easy to speak about your emotions, or was it kind of hard for you? Because again, talking about acceptance, like
right.
People could see it as like corny, like people for men to be talking about their emotions. Was it always easy for you, or?
Yeah, me personally, it's always been easy. I've just always been like kind of an emotional person. I'm just someone who is not afraid to be vulnerable. And I think also when it comes to creation, you have to understand that people need to hear this. There's people that are going through the same things you're going through. There's people that are going to relate. And me, I've always just been in the field of just wanting to almost heal people through my music and give people things that they can relate to. So I'm almost doing it for them in a sense. I'm putting my story out there for people to feel less alone. So when you're doing it with that mindset and that motive, it's a lot easier to do.
I agree. I would say some of my favorite songs on that album was "I'm Calling Your Name," "Let's Keep This a Secret," and then "Wipe My Tears When I Cry."
Appreciate it.
Those are some of my favorites.
Thank you.
I really think which one was it? Oh, and I Lost My Mind. I think that's like a hit, like a radio hit. Like it could be like a radio hit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm focusing on this year too. Is just putting those radio singles out. Those, because it's like those songs do have emotion, but they're formatted in a way that kind of it's almost hidden. Like it's formatted in like a good little party hit, but if you actually listen to the lyrics, there's a lot of emotion behind there. And so even with the song "Don't Panic" that's coming out this month, it's the same thing too. It's kind of formatted in a good upbeat song, right? But if you really listen to the lyrics, there's really emotion in there for sure.
Yeah, I really messed with that new track.
Yeah,
it's more of like kind of indie, would you say?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Indie, or alternative.
I was just exactly. I was just talking to somebody about that last week too at the rehearsal. That's kind of what made me want to put that track out, because I had another track that was supposed to come out, more of like a hyper pop track, but my guitarist really convinced me to do the indie stuff. He really is pushing me to do the alternative sound. And so that's kind of why I decided to go with this track for the first song of the year. Yeah.
That's what's up. So yeah, we'll go ahead and play that right now, and we'll go from there.
And they say don't panic, 'cause it might just get worse than this. And I might go manic. Is my mind not a thing that exists? And I got emotional damage I keep from my past. And I feel so blind when I walk, 'cause I can't stop looking back. And I got too many things that are making me mad. And they say don't panic, cause it might just get worse than this. And I'm like, oh man, is my mind not a thing that exists? And they say don't panic, cause it might just get worse than this. And I'm like, oh man, is my mind not a thing that exists? I go manic, I lost it all, took some damage, took my heart, took advantage of my heart. I go manic, lost it all, took some damage, took my heart, took advantage of my heart. And they say don't panic, cause it might just get worse than this. And I'm like, oh man, is my mind not a thing that exists? And they say don't panic, cause it might just get worse than this. And I'm like, oh man, is my mind not a thing that exists?
Bro, live, that shit would go far.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, that would go crazy in a concert, especially with the live instruments.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
I could just see like a mosh pit going, like that'd
Absolutely.
be crazy.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I seen you be going crazy in like your performances, like you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
jump off the stage and
Oh,
everything.
every time. It's every single time.
That's crazy. I love it. Have you seen are you do you know who Jaleel is?
I do. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
how
goes
crazy he goes.
crazy. He just did a show out here in Chicago. I saw that too. He's nuts. Energy, man, is super important because like at the end of the day, you know, you want people to remember you, and how people remember you and how people picture you in that moment, super important for your brand.
Yeah, facts. As you build your brand, like
Mhm.
what would you say is the direction that you're going to, especially with this song that we just heard?
It's definitely going to be definitely staying in the pop lane. And I think I just want to, this year I want to have fun with it, right? This year I definitely want to have fun with it. I feel like last year I was very serious. I'm not that I don't want to be serious, but I was very, I was almost trying to prove a point last year. I dropped a song every single month up until like, I don't know, August, September, and then dropped a 16 song album. None of those songs were pre-released. So it was like I was very on it, working very hard, almost overworking myself. This year I want to have more fun. I want to make sure everything is a slap, everything is a smash, and yeah, I want to have more fun this year and make it less work. But I want people to feel me at the same time. Yeah,
That's what's up. It's always nice to I mean, yeah, it's good that like you were going crazy, how you were saying like kind of like not stopping with the music.
yeah.
But sometimes, would you say when you take like more time with your songs, it's kind of better for you?
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely. The more time you take, the more time you have to create better versions and make songs grow. So that's definitely something I want to practice this year. Last year I was go, you know, making sure that I was putting out as much content as possible. And it was a good thing, you know, because I definitely gained, you know, eyes. I gained people watching what I was doing. But at the same time, you know, I wasn't able just to sit down and create the way that I used to, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna be definitely doing that.
As an artist and as a person, like what are some things that that you do to kind of like stop your mind from always like being on it like a schedule? Like what are some things that you do for your mental health?
I go to the gym. Definitely pushing workouts this year, 2023. That's definitely a resolution. I like to travel. Definitely. So those are definitely the two important things for my mental health to get away is hit the gym and then go see a new environment. Definitely.
Yeah, where's the last place you traveled to?
Where the last place I traveled to? I went to the Dells recently.
Okay.
So I was close, you know.
Yeah.
But still a getaway,
Right.
you know. So that was very nice. That was a good trip. Needed it.
What's your dream vacation? Like, where do you want to travel to?
It was California, it wasn't LA, but now I've been. So now I think we're planning a Bahamas trip soon. Trying to go on a little cruise.
That sounds fire.
Yeah, man.
Do you usually write like on vacation or not really? Or just kind of like take inspiration from it and then write?
It depends. I definitely am always looking for inspiration. So it kind of depends on how much inspiration I do get from the trip.
Right.
If I really feel something, I'll take a second to write it. But if it doesn't come till after, then that's okay too.
It was nice hearing that new track.
Definitely.
Hopefully, we hear you more on indie tracks because that was fire.
Definitely.
So yeah, what's something that we could see from you in the future other than like, are you planning a project coming or just singles for now?
Yeah, 2023 is just gonna be singles. Because we just dropped the album. I think it was probably about 2 months ago. So I'm gonna let that one sit for a while. But there's gonna be singles. Probably at least every other month. Doing a lot of shows, of course. Shows is something that I'll never get tired of. So plenty more shows, plenty more interviews. And yeah, just great music. More indie, more alternative stuff this year. Yeah.
That's just up.
Yes.
And then did you have a release date for that song or not yet?
Oh, for Don't Panic?
Yeah.
January 29th. Out everywhere, music video, all that. January 29th.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And then if you could give advice to any upcoming artists, what would it be?
There's a couple things you got to remember. You got to do what makes you happy and chase your dream. There's going to be a lot of people that are trying to contribute, not even contribute, but almost put their 2 cents in and what they think you should do. There's a lot of people that think I should be in school right now. There's a lot of people that think I should be focusing on, saving my money and busting my butt at some job for somebody and working for somebody who don't even care about me. Chase your dreams. Make yourself happy. Number one. That's what we're practicing all year. And I encourage every up and coming artist to do the same thing. Do what makes you happy because it's the only way you're really gonna feel fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be fulfilled doing something that somebody else wants you to do. Do what makes you happy because only you know best for yourself.
And kind of to touch on that, you talked about like people telling you kind of like what to do and trying to stay away from them. What is something, or how do you find people that actually attribute to your career or just being a good person in your life?
I feel like you got to find people with similar interests, and even if they aren't interested in what you're interested in, people who just support you. It could be just as simple as that. As you just they have your support, or you have their support, and it could be just as simple as that. But I think finding people with similar interests and finding people who support you, 100%. Yeah.
So number one, you said happiness, and then what other advice would you give?
Yeah, happiness. Chase your dream, not somebody else's. And work hard. If this is really what you want to do, you have to be consistent. You got to work hard. You got to have, you might have to go do a year like I did last year where you're punching in, every single day so that you can have a break in the future, But when you're coming up, it's just a nonstop race to get to where you want to be.
That's what's up. Anything else you want to add?
Good music all year. Thank you guys for having me. Expect a lot of No Polk this year. Chicago is up.
But that was the Noah Polk interview with Third Eye Views. I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And tune into his music. Peace.
Peace out.